A quick shot of the edge just built up, and I use this little roller, which is a piece of, I don't know what that is, M10, M12 screw thread with a hole up it with a washer soldered on the end, and that is worth its weight in gold, I can tell you now, because as you can see, look, you can mash the glass with it. I'm only going to do this for a short time because I want to get on, but see how that hasn't been done. If I rub it, how it becomes more consolidated and the resin becomes more translucent, and the cloth, the matting, this is 300 gram per square meter matting, because that's all I've got. I probably would have used some 450, but that's 4 layers on there now. And I cut the strip like these strips here, and my method is to just pull off a piece and pull off a piece, pull off a piece, and then overlap the ends again so that it looks the same density. And it helps you by doing that. You can put a piece on there, and then a piece and a piece and a piece, and it helps to come around a corner as opposed to cutting a corner. And it allows the pieces to actually slip and slide over the top of each other, and allows them to go around the corners a lot better. Now you can see that's really become, well, I don't know if you can see it. You can see how that's mashed the cloth together with the roller and consolidated, as opposed to just stippling with a paintbrush. This is the tool. I made that entire roof using this little roller because it's such a small width. It goes into compound corners much better than a long 3-inch long roller, or the diameter could be bigger. That's not a problem. You could use easy, I think that's M10. You could use it 12mm, 16mm, whatever. But the little threads, they're not spinning, it's not separate, it's just one chunk. And you need a large hole so that it's floppy. If you drill a tight fitting hole, it will bung up the resin and it will stop rotating. But as you can see, now that I'm just pulling that back, because there's a little gap there, and I'm making sure it's pulled back to make sure that it's tucked in. There's some air bubbles there, and that just allows you to get the air bubbles. And as you can see, by using transparent and no clear coloured gel or anything like that, allows you to see any air bubbles. If you had any coloured gel coat in a mould, like this is coloured, and then you put the cloth up against it, the matting, you cannot, it's more difficult to see air bubbles. Whereas that there is entire clear gel, clear resin and matting. That's, I've forgotten, 2 layers. It's 2 layers of I think it's a 300 and 2 layers of 450, and I think that's all it's that, and it comes out about, well, you can see the thickness on the edges, about 2.83mm thick. It's a little bit thinner there because I've rubbed it down to get it smooth, but it's hovering in a 3mm thick skin, that is, and it's heavy enough like that you can pick it up. It's pretty strong, but I shall continue with this fiberglass in, and when I put extra layers on, I'll do another little bit after this clip. Okay, this is where we've got to. This has now been built up with alternating layers of wide chop strand matting and narrow chop strand matting on the cardboard support. Initially there's 4 layers of the narrow on top of the cardboard, and then alternating wide, narrow, wide, narrow, up until I get to this level where you can place a ruler on and it's just touching all the way along. I think these ends need a little bit more building up anyway, so I've got them slightly raised more there on the sides. But that's to be looked at once I've trimmed off the excess. I shall cut that up square, trim around here and trim along there. But basically what I was saying earlier is I built the corners up by putting small bits on, tear off a piece, overlap it so it's about the same density, and this is the principle I was using to go around a corner, and it works quite well. So that's as far as we got with that. These holes, there was a hole there, and what I do is cut this up into a powder, keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it until it's a very fine, in effect, powder, and mix up a little bit of resin, drop a small amount of this in and mix it up like a dough, place it in here, and then grind off what you don't need, and then it will be skimmed over with ordinary body filler, and that will create a good surface. Or you can paint gel coat over the top and rub that down if you wish. But that's as far as we've got so far. Once I get to take the cardboard off and do the underside, I will be showing that as the next part of this video. Okay, so here we are with the cardboard removed and the back now buzzed over with a DA to smooth it up and blend it in. And well, I think it looks pretty good, but now it needs another 1 or 2 layers on the back, maybe 1 as far as there, and the second one right in. 2 layers on there, and then trim it off to about this line, and then offer it up to the back of the car, and then that'll be the final shaping. And then the other side is still rough glass. That still needs to be sanded and filled, so I haven't done that. And these are some of the old screw holes that have been filled with the mix of fine fiberglass fibres and resin. It's a little hollow, but that's what's come through from the other side, so that's worked quite well. And that's worked quite well. Here there was a funny looking lump which I've took away. I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to reinforce this area, because this is where the hinge bolts come down through. So I'm going to reinforce this with a couple of layers and sort of blend it in, and that'll be that. And all these holes all got to be filled. What a state. This is the back piece where the catch goes, and that's got to have some work. And the same, this hole on the back has to be sorted out. It's not in the right place. More rubbish. And the light recess is slightly on the slant, it's not level, so I've got to sort that out, but that's not bad. Other than that, it's coming on. And all of this back piece from this line, no, that's not right, more or less from there down, all needs to be built out slightly, and I'll probably scuff up this gel coat surface, put on a layer of cloth and another layer of cloth just to build it out with something substantial, and then skim it over with some filler. So instead of having a massive thick skin of filler, and this edge here is enormously thick, so I shall probably, because it's all fiberglass, I shall probably reduce that. I shall grind that away to get the curvature back and the thickness back, so it's not so bad. But other than that, it's not too bad. Right, okay, so when we get this next couple of layers on, I will that'll be the next clips of this video.